Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Mandy with My Trainer Mandy, your holistic lifestyle fitness and nutrition coach. I apologize, I was about 1 minute late. I recommit to being on time. I was trying to get everything set up, and I was having a little bit of a challenge, but we're good now. We're here, and I'm super excited to share with you guys tonight some really amazing information. I'm going to drop some big time truth bombs. I'm going to share even more of my personal testimony of what all I've been through with my health and just my life in general and how I overcame. And obviously I'm here to empower you because you can do the same thing, my friends. So thank you so much for tuning in. What's up, Shelly, Monique, Talise, Tracy Ann? How are y'all doing? Do me a favor, if this resonates with you, to share this video, please feel free and do so. When you hit share and you share this video on your timeline, chances are I'm going to be able to reach even more people because, you know, maybe your friends on Facebook aren't necessarily friends with me and they potentially would never see this. So, yeah, once again, I'm going to be sharing some really amazing information about how to overcome health challenges. I'm going to be talking about my own personal testimonial, and I'm going to share some tips with you on what you can do to start moving in that direction as well. And even if you're already super healthy, obviously it can support you and get healthier. So thank you so much, Monique and Talise, for sharing the video. Yeah, I'm super excited, guys. So feel my love and appreciation and my gratitude for everyone who has taken time out tonight to be on this live Facebook video. It is a few minutes after 7:30. Hey, what's up, Erin Faye? How are you, sister? Thanks for tuning in. It's a tad bit after 7:30, and yeah, I'm just super stoked. Really quick, too, I want to mention, if you haven't seen already, that on February the 25th, I'm going to be doing a live event here in Bryan College Station, Texas, at the Northgate Juice Joint. So if you know about College Station, chances are you've heard of Northgate. That's like the little area over by the school, by the college, by Texas A&M, that little bar area. So there's a place there called the Northgate Juice Joint, and she has organic juices and smoothies and wraps and salads and all kind of delicious stuff. So if you guys choose, come out. It's a free event. Kids are welcome. It's kid friendly. She has an outdoor like patio area that's super like tranquil, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I think I was trying to say a couple things at once. It's beautiful there, and the environment's amazing, and I'm trusting that we're going to have really great weather. So once again, that is February the 25th, a Saturday, from noon until 2 p.m. I would love to see everybody there. Shelly, thank you so much for sharing as well, sister. Hey, what's up, Amy? Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Courtney? How are you, sister? So February 25th, Northgate Juice Joint, and I'm thinking about February 18th. I did a post on Facebook earlier asking here, anyone here in the Bryan College Station area who would be interested in doing like a free workout. It would be probably 10 a.m. I think that's probably a doable time for most people. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be on February 18th. I'm going to make sure and nail that down, and then I will be promoting that as well. So more than likely, I'll probably hold that like at a park or something, and that'll be a lot of fun too. So you guys can come out and see what it's all about. I'm going to kick y'all's booty, show y'all some really cool stuff. So that more than likely will be February 18th, but just wait on me to give you more info for that. And yeah, just feel my love and appreciation once again for everyone who's here. And if you're tuning in live or you're potentially watching the replay, if this resonates with you, you feel called to do so. If you know anybody in your life that has health challenges, let's just face it, a lot of people, unfortunately, are experiencing health challenges, or they're experiencing some kind of negative symptoms somewhere. And I guarantee that the information I'm going to share with you tonight will be able to support them no matter what. Even anyone who has cancer, it does not matter what's going on. The information I'm going to share with you tonight is literally the truth bomb. This is the truth bomb that set me free. When I learned this and realized this, literally it turned not only my health around, but it literally turned my life around. I have not drank alcohol in over a year. January 10th was one whole year. So it's been like a year and whatever. So that's pretty phenomenal, because not that I had any kind of serious issues with drinking alcohol, but that's what I used to turn to. So some people turn to food, some people turn to sex, some people turn to shopping and gambling, who knows what, right? But we all unfortunately do form habits and potentially have self-destructive behavior, self-sabotaging, self-destructive thinking. And I'm here to just say, you know what? Me too, like in the past, right? And so for me to share this information with you guys, honestly, I trust that it will empower you and motivate you, like, dang, you know what? Like, I can do it. And not necessarily because I did it that you can do it too, but essentially, right, we're all one. We're all brothers and sisters. So it's a beautiful thing. So like I said, I'm going to be dropping some truth bombs for anybody that is listening to this, or yeah, if you can share this video for anyone else too that can hear this, it would be phenomenal. And honestly, guys, that's how you support me, is by allowing me to support other people through you. Okay. So if you feel called to do so, just share the video, please. I would really just appreciate it from my heart, because I'm just passionate about empowering people that they can transform their life. So I've said this a lot too. you that it doesn't matter if it's something that you've been doing like every single day for the past 20 years. You can make the decision right now to change and to do something different. It does not matter. All it takes is making a choice to make a change. And sometimes people just require being empowered, right? And they require having the specific knowledge and wisdom and skills and techniques to like make it a little bit easier, right? Because it's sometimes, unfortunately, can be a little bit of a challenge. Thank you, everyone who just recently tuned in. I saw this thing blowing up. What's up, Kyle? How are you? Hey, Anna. Yeah, you love this shirt. I knew you would. What's up, Christy? How are you? Priscilla and Jess Carr. How's it going? Yeah, fear of failing. That's a big one, Anna. So fear just in general, we're going to be busting out on some fear here in a little bit. What's up, Priscilla? Thanks for tuning in, sister. So I'm going to be talking all about all these things. I'm going to obviously share my own personal testimony with you guys. I'm going to give you tips and techniques and things that you can start incorporating into your life right now to start changing the way that you're thinking, changing the way that, you're perceiving like your environment and whatever you have going on. This right here is body language, like seeing in a new way. Isn't that cool? So there's something called sacred body language that our subconscious mind literally communicates with us through our body. So, I was scratching my eyebrow, and this is called seeing in a new way here with the eyebrow. So obviously what I was saying was lining up, and that's why I have the body language right there. So there's something called sacred body language. There's something called conscious language, like the words that we speak, literally down to every single word that we speak. The thoughts that we're thinking, because the thoughts that we're thinking are literally communicating with our body, literally down to a cellular level. So I'm going to go over some personal stuff about me, and then once again, I'm going to share some things that can support you guys. And also, really quick, I like to put this out there that I am not a doctor. Everything I share is meant to just be for educational purposes. And I'm not here to tell you or share anything with you that can literally prevent, diagnose, treat, or cure any kind of dis-ease in the body. But on the same token, I'm going to let you know that literally I've transformed my life. I've healed my body. You don't necessarily require medication. You can get off of medication. You can change your health with eating real whole food. So that's my disclaimer, but also my personal testimony. And what do I really believe? I believe that yes, you can naturally heal your body. And that's why what I'm sharing with you tonight is big time truth bombs, because a lot of it has to do with your own thinking, right? And it's like, who would have ever thought that? So a lot of times we grow up and we just automatically assume that because we're aging or we're getting older, that we're going to age, or that that our body's going to break down, that we're going to become, sick, et cetera, et cetera. Also too, sometimes people tend to have the belief that, just in general, like the belief of aging. And so they literally start getting like wrinkles and different things like that, or, the aches and the pains, because they've identified with the fact that because they're getting older in days or in years, that they have to actually physically age. And that is not true at all. Because once again, our minds are so powerful. So literally whatever you believe, and obviously whatever you're thinking about and you're repeating to yourself, that same tape that's playing over and over and over, all of that stuff is super duper important. And whatever that is that you have going on in there is directing your life. So that's why you get to change some things, change your language, change the way that you're thinking about things, and change the way that you're talking to yourself, right? Your internal dialogue. Because I always talk about this in my video, like nobody else can come in and think your thoughts for you. That's the beauty of life. It doesn't matter if you're married or whatever you have going on. You literally can have someone really, close to you, like I said, in a relationship or a partnership, a marriage or whatever, or even like your mom or your dad or your children. Like no one can come in and think for you. You actually get to choose your own thoughts. So when we realize how powerful our thoughts are, we would literally never think another negative thought ever again, because we'd be like, oh, and the beauty of that is that if you potentially are thinking negative thoughts, or you have a negative thought come into play, that you can take it captive, you can turn it around, and you can turn it into something else. And you have that power to do so. Hannah says your energy is amazing without caffeine. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Girl, I'm glad you're on this video, because I'm going to drop the truth bombs about the adrenals and caffeine and everything else. Bone broth soup with carrots and cabbage tonight. That sounds fabulous. Hey, what's up, Monica? How are you doing, beauty? What's up, Tracy Ann? Hey, Cecilia. Ladies, gentlemen, anybody on this video, please hit the share button right now. Share this video to your timeline. I guarantee you someone on your timeline requires hearing this information, because they're out there looking for the latest healer, the latest herbs, the latest magical pill, the latest, healing modality. I was that same person. I spent literally probably over about $150,000 on my health. No joke. And I have literally probably tried everything that there is out there to try. Some stuff that's even like, oh my God, you really did that? You put what, where? You drank what? You did what? Seriously, if I told you some stuff, you'd probably be completely blown away. Like that girl is like, and Not that it was necessarily a bad thing, but it's like that is how much I was choosing to have my optimal health. And when I learned this one specific thing that I'm going to be sharing with y'all more in a minute in detail, it's like, oh, you know, you don't require going outside of yourself to find any of that stuff. Literally, it's all here within you, with your own power, in your own heart, and in your own mind. And you, like I posted, I guess that was yesterday, like trust your inner wisdom, be your own doctor, you know, like all these things, these are the truths, right? So like when you read the Bible, and some people, not everybody necessarily, but most people, when they read the Bible or refer to the Bible, that's the word of God. That's the truth, right? So it's the same thing that's in that Bible, the same thing that created you, whatever word you choose to give it, that is the truth, the way, the life. So when you kind of align to that truth, and not only are you out there seeking for it on the outside, like trying to find this, trying to find that, trying to find the person or the healer or the this or the modality or even the location or whatever. It doesn't exist, okay? It's all within inside you. So once you can nail that down, you can come into alignment with that. You're literally take off those blinders, right? Unlearn and unpractice all that stuff that potentially you've been practicing for years and years and years. Like I'm 36 years young. Like we all have our own stories and things that we were brought up believing, you know, environments that we were in, etc. And the beauty of it is like I said, it doesn't matter. Like I'm 36 years young. It doesn't matter. You can make a choice at any moment in time to like change all that stuff. You can cancel it out. You can erase it. You can pretend like it never existed. This is another thing I want to share with y'all really quick. And thank you everyone for tuning in and who's commenting. Feel my love and appreciation. But when I get on a roll like this, I really just want to keep flowing. So if I'm not interacting with you, that's why. So just give me a little bit. But feel my love and feel free to comment as well. Think about this right now. So let's just do this together because I think this is really cool. I actually saw a video the other day of one of my fellow brothers who is also a holistic health coach, and he did something very similar to this, and I think it's very beautiful. So right now, everybody, even though I'm on this thing, I'm going to close my eyes because that's what it takes, right? So right now, let's close our eyes, and let's take a deep breath and breathe all the way down into your stomach, okay? And then I want you just to think about your life. I want you to picture your life kind of like if you were at the movie theater and you were watching a movie, right? And you see the movie from the beginning to the end. Okay, so right now, wherever you're at in your life, I want you to picture your life from whatever you can remember, the earliest memory maybe. And I want you to just kind of briefly flow through your life, however long it's been, up until this point. And I want you just to briefly look at it. And I want you to continue to breathe. Obviously, I'm talking, so it's kind of hard to do both at once. But I want you to continue to take the really deep breaths down into your stomach. I want you to relax. And I want you to just think about everything that you're seeing, okay? And I shared this on my video Tuesday night, that we actually hold grief and fear in our stomach area. So right now, if you're feeling some kind of tightness or something uncomfortable, potentially like in your stomach, in your gut, that whole entire area, potentially you're hanging on to some grief or some fear, okay? And if you're potentially feeling some sort of tightness, like in your chest and your throat, it could be tightness, it could be pain, it could be soreness. But if there's something like in your chest or in your throat, then potentially you may have some sorrow, okay, or some sadness or something going on there. So you maybe get clear around what could potentially be going on here that's indicating, because I just told y'all sacred body language, right? When I scratch my eyebrow, our bodies literally communicate to us. So if you have something going on in your chest or in your throat, there's chances that there may be some hidden sadness or some hidden sorrow, right? And maybe intellectually you're not necessarily aware that that's going on. But once you can tap into it and tune into it in your body, you can say, well, you know, I trust my body and my body knows. And obviously I'm paying attention to these signals. Let me think about what's potentially going on. Also, if you have anything in your neck or in your back, potentially it's tight or maybe it hurts or it could be a sharp pain, but anything in the neck or anything in the back, okay? So anywhere here, neck and back is going to be anger. So potentially you're functioning and you have some deep-rooted anger or some other things like that going on that you get to get really clear on. So right now as you're sitting here and you're relaxing and you're breathing in and you're looking at, you know, the film reel, if you will, of your life from the very beginning until where you're at right now. And maybe there's some areas in there that are black. Maybe there's some areas in there that just don't feel too good. And when you kind of think about them, you want to skip over them really quick because that wasn't super pleasant, that at that point in your life, that's what was occurring or that's what you experienced, okay? And then you just take deep breaths and then you get to look at it and you get to literally go in there. And if you want to think about literally like using your hand or however you choose to do it, but you can literally go in there and you can pull those parts of that movie out. You can just pull those out, whatever they are. You can take them out of there and they didn't exist, okay? You get to love them and you get to let them all be okay, and you get to just release it. In other words, you're pulling it out and you're releasing it to the air, to the atmosphere, to the universe, and you're releasing it and you're loving it, okay? You're not condemning yourself. You're not having any kind of critical thoughts about it. You're not judging yourself over it, because honestly, the thoughts of like fear, guilt, shame, all of those are very low vibrational frequency emotions. So when you're looking at that, and you're thinking negatively around that, then that's obviously not, the goal, okay? We want to love it. We want to let it be okay, and we want to just take it, and we want to eliminate it. We want to let it go. We want to remove it. We also want to realize that everything is for our greatest expansion and our greatest good and our greatest awareness, and that if we wouldn't have had those certain events in our life, that we would not be the person that we are today, okay? And also realizing that you are a source. You're a spirit, okay? You're a spirit and your energy, and that you're here in this physical body having a human experience for a very divine purpose that only you, my friends, can fulfill. So you require loving yourself just the way that you are right now with everything that you've been through. So we can take those out of your movie and we can let them go, and I can let mine go, and we can release them and we can let it go and we can love them. And then we can transform whatever that is into our greatest blessing. Okay. So go ahead and open your eyes. Okay. Feel my love and appreciation for everybody who's on this video. Sometimes it can be very, very challenging to dig deep like that, okay? Especially when you're really getting in touch, when you're really being serious about what potentially has occurred in your life because you are choosing to transform your life. So sometimes we don't want to go into that deep, dark cave. We don't want to go look at those things. We don't want to remember the past. We don't want to feel those things again. We don't want to think about that person who hurt us so deeply and things like that. But that's honestly what we require doing. And we get to transform that fear into our faith. Okay, we get to transform that sorrow into our joy. Whatever it is you have to go on, you get to transform that anger into your forgiveness. So whatever is your greatest weakness shall be your greatest strength. And when you can embrace that truth, you can say, I love that I experienced that. And I understand that I came here on this earth to have that specific experience so that I can be who I am now. So instead of having the victim mentality and thinking back over your life, like through the past, and thinking that because you went through all these things that it's shitty and it sucks and, the poor pitiful me scenario. And because that happened, I'm this way now. Sometimes people like to have excuses for their anger because they went through this, or they like to have excuses because, they don't want to open up their heart because they were hurt at one point in time by someone really, and it was really challenging or really difficult. They had their heart broken. So it's like, I'm never going to open up again. I'm never going to love again because they're potentially scared of being hurt. They're not wanting to be vulnerable, right? Because anytime you're vulnerable, you have the chance or opportunity of being hurt. And, just really getting clear on those things. So, obviously I'm going to share with you guys a lot about my story, and I'm going to share even more about some things that you can do. And that stuff really is powerful. So I support people in this. I know all about the sacred body language and the conscious language. And this is how I support people, right? I can obviously support them with the fitness and the nutrition as well. But sometimes, it's something that's going on that's a little bit deeper than that. Hey, what's up, Honor? I just saw your profile. How are you, beauty? It's something that's way deeper than that someone literally has no clue. They might have the best nutrition plan, the best fitness plan, the best trainer. They might do, yoga. They might meditate. They may be doing everything in every area, but there might be some stuff functioning potentially that they're not necessarily aware of. Okay. And I was one of them too. So, once again, I'm never going to be scrutinizing someone else's life and like pointing the finger, because I'm here sharing boldly my testimonial from my life, because I am trusting that the things that I share with people, and then just the knowledge and the wisdom that I have gained over the last several years and have transformed my life, is literally going to empower other people. And that's what my heart says for Mandy to do. My heart says that I require doing this. And so it's just a beautiful thing. So once again, I talk about, of course, my trainer, Mandy. Of course, I know about nutrition. I know about fitness. But at the end of the day, y'all, that shit don't matter, because you can have all that stuff. But if you don't have this stuff going on in here, and what you're thinking is not in alignment with your heart, and you're not just fully awake and aware of your thoughts and how your thoughts create your reality, and what's going on in your outer world is simply just a reflection of what's going on in your inner world, and you're always blaming everybody else, and you're playing the victim, and life sucks. Right? But then when you realize, like, hey, my thoughts are creating my reality. My thoughts are creating my life. So maybe if I just clean up my thinking a little bit, and I can love my past, and I can let it go, and I can transform everything that's ever happened to me into its greater good of like, oh, that's why that happened, and let it just be a beautiful experience, and let it go, because it's 2017. I'm 36 years young. I choose to know how old you guys are, or cancel how young you guys are. The point is don't go through your life carrying a big backpack full of bricks because all that shit happened to you in your past. Like, literally, take off the backpack, take the bricks out of the backpack. Because you can't fully step into your power. You can't fully be yourself. You can't fully experience your life. You can't have your full joy when you're operating out of fear, and when you're operating looking in the past, Like, you wouldn't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror. So why look in the past of what happened to you in the past, or maybe what you did in the past, or or any of that, what someone did to you, or however you potentially perceive that someone did something to you, you know, and also too, like, no one can hurt you. You choose to be hurt. You choose to be responding that you're hurt. No one can hurt you. Okay. So just getting clear on that. A lot of times people, they're pointing at everyone else saying it's someone else's fault and you hurt me and you make me feel like, and because of you, right? But stopping and taking note and taking awareness of like, where did I play a part in that? And potentially, you know, subconsciously, what do I have functioning that's causing me to attract this type of person, situation, or circumstance into my life? Because I even posted that earlier today, that literally everyone is a mirror of you. They're mirroring your thoughts. When, like, whatever experiences you have going on, like, they're literally a mirror of you. Like, how eye-opening is that? How eye-opening is it to know that whatever's going on, like, you're creating it, and it's literally a mirror of your own thoughts of yourself. So if you're feeling beautiful and everybody loves me, which is an affirmation by Louise Hay that I say all the time. I'm not ashamed to say that I say that. I do know that I'm beautiful, right? Like, I am beautiful and everybody loves me. I will literally start having people text messaging me. I will, like the other day when I told you I was at the gym and I was doing the row machine and the guy walks up and he was like, and I was like, okay. And then I took my headphones off. I'm thinking I'm like on the machine that he's about to use or something. And he had come all the way across the gym to say that he thought I was so beautiful. And I was like, you know, of course it was amazing. And I said, thank you so much. And, you know, I really appreciate you. And then I thought to myself, I got crunk on the machine again. I was like, yeah, I'm beautiful and everybody loves me. And that's just confirmation right there. That's confirmation right there of what I already know. I already believe about myself, you know, because literally our mind is a map and your mind is always going to prove you right. So whatever you're believing in your mind, if you think life is shitty and you think life sucks and you think that you're always going to be broke and there's never enough and no one ever has enough money, you never have enough money, your family never had enough money, none of your friends have any money, nobody has any money, we're always broke, everybody's sick, because I'm this age, you know, I'm probably going to get sick, because I'm this age, I'm probably not going to be able to have babies, I'm probably not fertile because I'm over 30, like the doctors love to put that in everybody's head, you know, because I'm this age, you know, I'm going to experience wrinkles, or I'm going to have this, or I'm going to have that, you know, oh, I have arthritis, you know, all of these things literally are symptoms of something else that's going on. And that's what we're going to be talking about, because once again, we are energetic beings, we're emotional beings. And so 99.9% of the time, whatever you have going on physically, symptom-wise, and everything else is honestly just a reflection of what's going on in your consciousness, what you're thinking about, what you're focusing on. Where are you? Are you focusing on fear? Or are you focusing on faith? And so a little while ago, Anna brought that up about failure of fear, or cancel fear of failure. And a lot of people are operating on a fear basis. And I was one of them too for a very long time. So a little bit about me. I know I've shared this before, but I don't know. I'm choosing to know if I have new viewers or what's up. What's up, LaJC? I choose to know how you pronounce your name, sister. What's up, Susan? How are you? Hey, Marie. Two's on point, sister. Yeah, 22 in the house. What's up, Melissa Sexton? How are you? That Power Girl shirt is perfect. I love you, sister. Thank you. So a little bit about me, and I'm not ashamed to share this information with you guys. At one point, yeah, maybe it would have been kind of like, oh, you know, but it's not anymore. And it's just a beautiful thing, and it's beautiful for me to be able to share with people. So I grew up in a household where my stepdad was a very angry man, and he physically laid hands on my mom and my brother, and there was a lot of anger and a lot of fighting and a lot of fear. And obviously I'm a very sensitive one in a beautiful way, you know, and so I grew up with a lot of fear, and then essentially that started turning into anger for me as well, because if anyone's experiencing anger, what that really means is it's fear. So that's another way to look at someone and have compassion and go, wow, if a person's a very angry person, or they're spouting out and they're doing whatever, and the way that they are potentially reacting versus responding, but you can maybe look at them with compassionate eyes and go, wow, maybe it's just because that person is really angry. And obviously they are not tapped into that. They don't realize that they're angry and that they're functioning on that anger. But yeah, so I grew up with a lot of fear, obviously. Then at some point I came into where I had a lot of anger and stuff as well. And I took antidepressants for 16 years because I thought that was the way to go. That's what psychiatrists told me to do. That's what doctors said that I required having, because I had a chemical imbalance in my brain. And so when you hear that and you're naive, you're like, yeah, you know, chemicals. And you think about the brain and how complex it is, and you think, yeah, I probably do, all the stuff I've been through, and and yeah, I probably do require this chemical medication to alter my chemicals, right? No, a lot of times depression, anxiety really has to do, for one, with your thoughts and your thoughts and your environment, and then also what's going on in your gut, because the gut is the root of all illness. So that's a whole nother story. But I overcame depression. I'm happy as a clam. Everything's amazing. I've been off antidepressants for like almost 5 years now. Yeah, it'll be 5 years in June. So if you're challenged with anything mentally, I promise you, reach out to me and let's talk about it. Seriously. So Anyhow, I just want to mention that though. I grew up in that kind of environment. In college, I drank quite a bit of alcohol. I used to eat fast food. I used to like work out a lot, probably over, stimulating it or whatever as far as my workout and stuff goes. And, yeah, I mean, just kind of coming from that background and literally turning to alcohol to make things better, right? It's like, oh, let's go get effed up, like if something was going wrong or I was frustrated about something or upset, or even potentially if I was choosing to like celebrate something, right? So, a lot of people do things in different ways, and it can be, like I said, with alcohol, with food, with sex, with shopping, with drugs, gambling. It can be all different types of things. And we all know in our heart of hearts, right? We get in touch with ourselves. We all know what it is that we typically do that potentially would be self-sabotaging or self-destructive behavior. So we get to get really clear on that. And so growing up in that kind of environment and having a lot of fear, it's like, are you going to serve fear? Or are you going to serve faith? And if you're kind of brought up serving fear and that's kind of what you know of, and potentially, that's what you think is the path, right? Because they say that little kids are like little video cameras on legs. And when we're like pre-7 years old, we're like huge sponges and we literally absorb everything. So right now we are pretty much just grown up kids. Okay. So 36 years young, grown up kid. And most of us are operating out of our, pre-7, pre-5, pre-3-year-old self based on what we learned. And remember, we weren't intellectually prepared at that time to understand exactly what was going on. We didn't understand that because dad had a bad day and he came home and he was screaming and yelling for you to go to your room or, whatever was occurring, or why didn't you do your chores, or maybe mom's screaming and yelling, we weren't able to intellectually understand what was going on then. And so now, a lot of times people in their adult life, they are still functioning out of that subconscious mind. They have those same tapes playing, those same stories. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not good enough. Fear of failure. I'm never gonna, be successful, prosperous, like all the things, right, that we all desire. Remember that God, your divine perfection, he created you for a purpose and a reason, right? So he desires for you to have every desire of your heart. And obviously too, we are meant to be here and be happy. We're meant to be joyful. Like that's our default. We should be happy in life. Things come to us easily and effortlessly. Like I said, when we can align with the truth. So it's about realizing all of these things about yourself. And when I say realizing, I mean real eyes. Like you're looking at it with real eyes, not what the fear mongering media likes to tell you, not what, you might potentially see on social media, not what all is going on all over the world, not what, your negative Nancy coworkers talking about. You get to think for yourself. You get to choose your own thoughts and you get to decide what it is you're choosing to focus on. So now we're going to get into a little bit of meat of it all. Let's see. Anna says, not by my dad. I too was physically, verbally, and sexually abused. Yeah, well, I definitely was never sexually abused. I had a lot of verbal screaming and yelling. I mean, I probably had some spankings, but just growing up in an environment that wasn't loving and wasn't safe, and that's a lot of times that we don't feel safe. So that's another really beautiful affirmation by Louise Hay. Is that, I am safe. I love me love me. I am safe. All is well. These are things we can literally repeat to ourselves to start calming down our subconscious mind, calming down our psyche. Obviously, changing the way that we're thinking changes our brain chemistry, literally rewires the neurons in your brain and can change your mind, okay? Because the mind is actually the brain in action. So if you can start doing certain things, which I'm going to be sharing more towards the end. Hey, what's up, Eleanor? Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Kim? If you can start doing these things, then your life can turn around. And I know because I'm living proof. So it's not just like, oh, think positive, because thinking positive is great and it is important. Don't get me wrong. But if you're just trucking through life and you're dredging and you're forcing it to think positive, like you're forcing yourself, but you're really fucking miserable. Cancel clear that I just cussed. But if you're going through life and you're miserable, and so you're forcing yourself to think positive, but you're not ever getting to the root of what's really going on, chances are you might be doing good for a little bit, but then potentially falling off the wagon again. Literally, how have I been to abstain from having alcohol for over a year? It's not just willpower. I can tell you that. Obviously, yes, I have a very disciplined mind. I have a lot of willpower, but if there's something more to it, it's like when you get so clear that you are divine perfection, you are the truth, and you align with that, you do not want to put alcohol into your body. At least I don't. And I know a lot of other people too that are on that same path. You care so much about your body and your health. You realize that your body is your vehicle to move you through life. So you're not choosing to participate in self-destructive behavior. And so some people, that could be alcohol. That was my vice, right? So it's like, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm not saying I'll never have another drink again. I choose to know. I might. I mean, I'm 36 years young. I'm going to live till I'm at least 100, if not longer. So maybe I will have some more alcohol. But if I do, I guarantee you it'd be organic tequila. It'd be fresh squeezed organic lime juice. And I'd be sweetening with some local raw honey. That's what I used to do. So all I'm trying to say is that whatever it is that you have going on that's potentially the way that you self-sabotage and self-destruct, get clear on that, right? Because you can change it. You can turn it around. Like I said, it only takes you making a choice to make a change to do something different. It doesn't matter that you've done it for every single day of your life for 20 years or 30 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that everyone else in your family does it and that that's what grandma did. That's what mama does. That's what, it doesn't matter. Okay. So what happened with me is, middle of 2011, I shared this the other night. Middle of 2011, I witnessed someone very, very close to me. Okay, he transitioned. I was there at the hospital when he passed, and it really rocked my world. I woke up the next day. I was not the same person. My body was super weak. I was lethargic. I just had a lot of things going on. I literally fell into like a deep, dark hole. I was very depressed. I turned big time to alcohol, and I was eating a lot of like, cakes and cookies and ice cream and like anything sweet that I could get my hands on. I was drinking like sometimes a bottle of wine a night. Literally, I was still functioning. Like I was still working and training clients and doing whatever I required doing, but I felt miserable, right? But that's what I was doing to make myself feel better. So it just is. And it's the past, and there's nothing I can do to go change that now. But what I can do is I can share this information with other people and empower you with this wisdom and knowledge to know that you can turn your life around. Okay. So the thing is I'm a very, very sensitive being, for one. And I've always been that way. I've always had a huge heart. I remember when I was a little kid, I had the Bible and I didn't even understand a lot of what it said because of the words and the way it was and the one that I had. And it had been passed down to my family for like, I don't even know how many years. So it's like really old, kind of falling apart. I mean, I still have it, but I would get in this little section between my bed and the wall, like where this little mirror was, and I would have the Bible and I would like read it, but I didn't really know what it was saying, like all how the Bible talks in certain versions or whatever. So obviously this is kind of emotional for me to go back over this stuff. But anyway, so I was reading it, or was trying my best and trying to understand it. And I was just crying. That's all I could do. I just was crying because I hurt so bad. Like I hurt so bad physically because my real dad, he remarried, and my stepmom had children. And so I didn't really have a relationship with my real dad. My stepdad was abusive and, a mean, angry man. And I didn't feel safe. And so I would try my best to read the Bible, and I always felt the tugging of God. Like I knew there was a higher power, a higher calling. I knew there was something else. And so I would just read the Bible and I would cry and I would do all these things, and I would just cry. I'd be like, God, help me, save me. And I would cry. And I remember growing up like that. And, and so whenever I experienced the transition of my friend, someone who was very, very close to me, it was very challenging for me. And so I literally, like I said, the next day, I was just not the same person. And I started, just like questioning everything about like my life and, why did that have to happen? And it was very, very painful for me. So, obviously I grew up with depression. I had taken antidepressants for 16 years. I was still on antidepressants when that happened. I didn't get off antidepressants till June of 2012. So it was about a whole year until I ended up weaning down off the antidepressants. So already having that kind of like fear-based thinking, that negative mindset, like all these things, and then experiencing that, because y'all, I can barely kill a bug. Like you can ask my mom, like if there's a roach or a spider, like I pick it up with a paper towel. Okay. So I'm way more sensitive now than I used to be, but I've always been a very sensitive one. And so, when I was there and I experienced that, I was just like, questioning like why, all these things. And so that's what I turned to. I turned to drinking a lot of alcohol. I literally would go to HEB and I get like these little bundt cakes, and I would get like a tub of ice cream. And I would be on the phone with my mom a lot of times, and I'd be crying like on my couch there in Houston, and I would be like miserable as hell, and I'd have like some stupid shit on TV, and I would just be sitting there like eating the ice cream, eating the cake, drinking the wine. And I'm like, I just want to get effed up. Like, this is what makes me feel better. And so I did that like for probably 6 months, from middle of 2011 until the end. And I was miserable. And honestly, me doing that made my body obviously very, very overly acidic. Also too, our toxic thoughts, things like that, that makes your body very acidic. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just what you're putting into your body. Obviously, consciousness is a big deal. Like, what are you focusing on? I had big time focus on fear because I was hurting so bad. And I just didn't understand it. And like, I didn't know all the things that I know now, but like looking back on it, I know for a fact that I could have supported him in healing his body. He had cancer. And so, that's also too why I'm so passionate passionate about this stuff is because like I know so much now that even if you shared this video and somebody else potentially was watching this and they realize like, oh, there's a natural way to potentially, you know, turn cancer around in the body, like that's a big deal to me, right? So anyway, I want to get to the point. So I ate all the cookie, the cakes, the wine. I did all that stuff. And that was 2011, pretty much through 2012. And then beginning of 2013, I found some people to support me and I started cleansing and detoxing. I started doing a lot of stuff. I started doing like colonics to clean out my colon. I started doing coffee enemas, which is really good for the liver, which is actually a natural way to support people in healing from cancer. So I've done all of it, okay? But I did all this stuff. I did parasite cleanses and I had like parasites. I had mucoid plaque. I had everything kind of like coming out of my body. And then I started getting more clarity. Obviously, I started having more energy. I started feeling better. I was getting like the toxins and the crap, literally the shit, everything out of my body. And then I kind of went on this thing too, where I had more fear because I was like fearful of my health and I couldn't believe that I had parasites. And I mean, literally I saw this in the toilet and I'm going to tell you right now, most everybody has parasites. Okay. And honestly, they're there to support us. They're there to help us. God put them in our body so that when you're not living right, they're there to clean up your toxic, dirty gut that's potentially you're constipated. You can be holding on to like 5 to 10 pounds of fecal matter in your gut at any point in time. So just understand that. So for me to sit here and share this, it may be like, oh my God, you're probably sitting there thinking like you couldn't believe I'd be talking about this, but I'm talking about this because I am choosing to share this knowledge with you guys to support you in understanding that if you are having health challenges, then it's rooted in it's always going to be rooted in the gut for sure. The mental part of it and the consciousness is king always, but the gut would be next and focusing on what you're putting into your body and then cleaning the shit out of your body, literally and figuratively, and cleaning the toxic shit out of your life, the toxic relationships, the toxic environment. If you hate your job, find a new job. Who wants to wake up every single day and go be sitting somewhere behind a desk under, you know, fluorescent lights, freaking miserable? Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why? So what I'm trying to get to though is I did some really deep hardcore cleansing. I went really hardcore on the cleansing and then my body, it was kind of in shock, right? Because I was doing so much and then it threw off my hormones. So I did not have a period for 9 months, like 9 whole months. I did not have a period. And I had, you know, different holistic doctors and stuff I was seeing back in Houston at this time. And they're like, yeah, it's just stress. Like it's going to come back. You're okay. Like it's just stress. So I just kept thinking it's okay. I kept doing the stuff I was doing to cleanse my body. I was supporting my body and everything else, but I didn't have a period for 9 months. Okay. Then finally, after moving down here to College Station, I saw my naturopath who supported me with some different things. We did some muscle testing and I got on a natural supplementation of pregnenolone, which is your precursor hormone to all your other hormones. So I took the very first little sublingual tablet of the pregnenolone and my period started like the next day. So I got my period back. Okay. It started kind of balancing back out a little bit. And then of course my adrenals were severely taxed because I was under big time fear. So anytime you're operating in fear, which most people are operating at some level of fear just because of the world that we live in today in 2017 with all the, you know, distractions, all the things we have going on, all of the stressful stuff, the media, you know, the presidential election, the traffic, like just whatever it is, right? And so, you know, when you're functioning like that at a very high level of fear, your adrenals are going to get tapped out pretty easily. So that's called your sympathetic nervous system, meaning that you're in fight or flight. Like your body thinks that you are in the middle of a jungle and you're literally about to be eaten by a bear. It does not know, you know, that it doesn't recognize it, but that's the state that you're in physiologically. So I was under a lot of stress. I was focusing so hard on like, what can I do to kill these parasites? And I was totally missing the point. I was so far on the side of like, I got to kill the parasites. I got to this, I got to that. And I had so much fear around all of it that I literally made my situation worse. So the point I'm talking about the adrenals is that I eventually, after the adrenals got so exhausted like they did, it started affecting my thyroid. And so I literally lost probably like 3/4 of my hair. And it just so happens that I have my hair up tonight because I did yoga this morning. And most people wouldn't notice because of the texture of my hair. It's natural curly. And like I said, the texture of it. So if I wanted to brush my hair a little bit, it would look like big old fry guy fro, right? Like nobody would ever notice. Okay. But when I get out of the shower, the amount of hair that I have, or even if I was to show you and put my hand around it, it is literally like about 1/4 of what it used to be. Okay. So I was going through that. I'm going to even put some pictures here in the comments to show you guys. For about a year and a couple months, every time I would take a shower and wash my hair, I would have handfuls of hair come out. Any woman who has ever dealt with hair loss will know how traumatic that experience can be, right? And just any woman in general realizing how beautiful our hair is and how much we identify our beauty with our hair and things like that. So then I had all these stories about like my hair and I didn't know if this shit was all going to fall fall out or what was going to happen. But I was on that roller coaster for however long, and it just kept going and it kept going. And so like I said, my thyroid was affected. And so all of that happened, okay? I moved here to Bryan College Station. It was kind of still coasting along a little bit. And then when I went to Florida, guess what? When I went to Florida, my period balanced back out. It was exactly on track. The hair loss completely stopped. The heart palpitations went away. It was almost like God said yes, like to me for coming home to the beach. Because I'm telling you, for like 4 years, I had this just deep calling of moving back to either San Diego, which I lived in 2007, or moving to a beach town. And I ignored it, okay? So the reason I'm bringing all this stuff up is there's a deeper thing of what I'm trying to explain here. Not just to sit here and tell you all about all the stuff that I've been through. But of course, me sharing all this information with you guys is going to probably have someone go, holy shit, are you freaking serious? Like, it's going to support you in potentially understanding that could be what's going on with you. So what I did is in March of 2015, also by a good brother of mine who is a holistic health coach, he introduced me to the consciousness stuff that I've been referring to a lot. And I took some classes, I did a retreat, I did a bunch of different things, and I transformed my life with consciousness. So what that means, guys, is it's literally about being aware of everything. And like I just went over that a second ago, but being aware that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, being aware that you literally can affect other people with your energy and your thoughts, being aware that we are all one, that we are pure love, pure consciousness. And when you can get in touch with that and tap into that truth, like, you are freaking unstoppable. Like, nothing will stop you. You will not have health challenges. You will turn all that stuff around. You will feel good. You will be excited about your life. You will start making decisions that serve you. You will stop self-sabotaging. You will stop with the self-destructive behavior. You will listen to your heart. You will start transforming because you realize how amazing you freaking are, and that we all are here and we are all fully well deserving to have everything it is that our heart chooses and desires for us to have. And when you can come to that truth, you'll stop looking for the next freaking weight loss pill. You'll stop trying to find all these, like, the next healer, the next best medicine, the next weight loss surgery, whatever it is that you have going on, because the reason that you are in the state that you are in right now, potentially physically, with either your appearance or health challenges or whatever you have going on, is it has to do with your thinking. It has to do with what you're aware of. It has to do with what you're serving. Are you serving fear? Or are you serving faith? What are you focusing on, right? Are you thinking that everything's going to work out for me? That's what I do. I tell myself that all the time. I'm amazing and everything is always working out for me. Something amazing is going to happen for me today. I'm beautiful and everybody loves me. I am prosperous. I am divine. Like, I affirm and decree that stuff, and I say it to myself. And not only that, but I believe it. Okay. So it takes effort to dig deep into this stuff. It takes effort to pull back the layers, to look back on what you potentially been through in the past and what you potentially could be functioning off of that has happened to you. And like I said, once again, maybe you're not intellectually aware of what those things are. And that's what coaches are for. I have my sets of coaches. My coaches have coaches, right? If your coach doesn't have a coach, then find a new coach, okay? Because we all require support, okay? Everybody does. We all require support, and it's a beautiful thing. And so this is what I obviously do for people as well. So transform my life with consciousness. And I heard something at one point that really struck a freaking chord with me like no other. I heard something that said to me, it was an audio I was listening to. She said, so many people are out there looking for a healing. Why don't you just simply allow a welling? Meaning your welling, your well-being. Why don't you stop looking outside of yourself for somebody to fix you, for this person to love you more, for your husband to tell you how beautiful you are, for your husband to hold you, for your kids to respect you, for whatever it is that you're reaching for outside of yourself to validate you. You don't require that. Everything you require is literally in you. It is inside of you. It is in your heart. It was already placed in you when you came here onto this earth, right? You don't necessarily require looking outside of yourself for any of that. So instead of looking for a healing, you're simply just allowing a welling. And what I mean by that is you get in touch with your heart. You get in touch with what it is that gets you excited, with what it is that makes you happy, with what it is that your heart is calling for you to do. Mine was to move to the beach, and it was phenomenal. I had major transformational shifts when I was there living in Florida. So once again, are you serving fear or faith? Get really clear on that. And the fastest way, guys, to transform your life, I'm going to tell you right now, the fastest way to transform your life is to love everything unconditionally. Even the shitty stuff, no matter what you're going through. It could be your job, your relationship, your friends, your environment, whatever it is. My hair loss, that was traumatic, and it took a lot of coaching and a lot of time for me to get to that point where I could love that hair coming out of the head. And you know what I said is I said, you know what? I am cleansing my body so much of all the toxins and accumulation of 16 years on antidepressants, fast foods, all the different things, all the alcohol I drank, you know, the 6 months after 2011 when I was binging, the cakes, the cookies, the candies, everything that I was doing. And so when the hair comes out, I can just say, you know what? It's coming out because this is old hair, it's dead hair, and it's making room for the new, beautiful, strong, healthy hair that's going to be coming in. So I required getting really clear about what that really was. And when I could transform the way I was perceiving the hair loss, obviously the hair loss stopped, right? Because I wasn't living in fear anymore. So whatever you focus on, you're going to get. So whatever you have going on, even if it's health challenges or whatnot, if it's lack of money, if you're focusing on lack of money, you're going to keep having lack of money. Right? So whatever direction it is that you're focusing on, I mean, this is literally for every single thing in your life. I could list so many things, right? There's so many variables. But just realizing that whatever it is that you're focused on is what you're going to get will cause you to start paying way more attention to your thoughts and understanding that everything that's showing up in your world is simply a reflection of what you have going on in your inner world. So if you don't believe you're worthy of love, chances are you're going to keep on getting shit on by men or women or whatever's going on in relationships. If you don't believe you're worthy of love, or potentially you're married and you're just going to be shown somehow or another, and then you're going to go, yep, see, I knew I wasn't worthy of love. Like you're going to then validate, because it's validation. Like I said, your mind is a map. Your mind is always looking for a way to prove you right. So whatever you believe about, you become. Whatever you think about, thoughts turn to things. Like this is serious business here. So love unconditionally, realize everything's a reflection of you, stand up, show up, be present, fully commit to transforming your life. Seriously. I'm pretty sure that every single person watching this video or potentially is going to watch the replay, you're going to be able to see some area of your life that you could spend some time on, focusing on differently to literally transform that area. So we require taking just as much amount of time with our mindset and our mind power and the thoughts that we're thinking as we do with everything else in our life. Just as we do with brushing our teeth, washing our face, picking out our clothes, cleaning our house, taking care of our children, going to work, whatever it looks like for you, right? But we require spending just as much energy. And did you know that it takes the same amount of energy to be pessimistic, negative, angry, all those negative things? It takes the same amount of energy of that as it takes to be the way that I am now. Very conscious, very aware, obviously, you know, energetically, spiritually, the energy that it takes. This video that I'm doing for y'all right now, this video is expending my energy, right? But this is a blessing. This is what I love to do. And I choose to do this. But what I'm trying to say is that it takes the same amount of energy either way. So pick your poison. What do you choose to do? Do you choose to focus in one direction and have things keep being the way that they are? Or can you realize that if you literally take that energy and you change it and turn it around and whatever it is that you were focusing on, you change it into whatever it is you desire for it to be, and then you put that same amount of energy into it, then just realize that that's what's going to transform your life. That's what's going to change your life. And it's a very, very beautiful thing. And it's very, very doable. And it has to do with your mind. It has to do with how you're focusing on things and how you're thinking about things. So some of the things that I'm just going to mention really quickly that people can do, obviously, to transform their lives is start drinking more water. That's probably the easiest thing I can say to do. Even if everything else is, however, start drinking more water. Get you a jug like this, BPA free at Walmart, less than $3. Drink at least one of these today, or one of these a day, if not two. I drink two. Drink 1 to 2 of these a day. If it's too hard for you, start drinking a half, okay? Start somewhere. Make the choice to make the change. Start somewhere. You don't have to drink 2 of these tomorrow, but make a choice to do something different in your life. Don't say that just because you've always been that way and you never drink, people are like, oh, that's all I drink is Coke. I never drink any water. Well, maybe tomorrow try to drink 1 bottle of water, like a 16 ounce, right? Instead of that 1 Dr. Pepper or Coke that you were going to drink. So start drinking water. Water is literally the vehicle that removes toxins from the body. It's super duper important to stay hydrated. And we require water for so many processes in the body. And so when you're dehydrated, honestly, this goes back to consciousness. Even when you are drinking a lot of water and you're potentially dehydrated, it's because you're not feeling your feelings. And I've talked about this in a lot of videos, that we were taught from little bitty kids from a very young age to hush, be quiet, go to your room, what's wrong? So we were taught when we were little bitty kids, and I'm sure your parents were too, and so were their parents, right? I mean, I even see it now when I'm out in the mall or wherever I'm at. It's like, shh, be quiet, shut up. up, or whatever people tell their kids. Like, that's just how people operate most of the time, right? So, you know, it's unfortunate that we are taught at such a very young age to suppress and to shut down and to not feel our feelings, because what that results in is we become adults and we have stopped feeling our feelings. We don't want to feel ourselves crying. We don't want to feel sadness. We don't want to have anger. We don't want anything. So we suppress it. And when we suppress it, guess what happens? It expresses itself physically in our symptoms. So like I said earlier about the stomach and about the neck and about the throat and the chest, if you're just tuning in, make sure you go back and watch this video from the beginning. But I'm going to share an article in the comments after this video that's going to have everything broken down. It's so phenomenal. Like, you can literally say, oh, what does fungus have to do with? What does cancer have to do with? What does hypothyroidism have to do with? Et cetera, et cetera. And you literally can see what it is that's the symptom and literally what kind of emotion is coming along with that. What types of thoughts and what kinds of emotions. Okay. So for example, hypothyroidism is usually going to be someone that is saying, when is it my turn? When do I get to do what I want to do? And it also can be anger with mom. Just like hyperthyroidism can be anger with dad. So at one point, I did experience a little bit of hypothyroidism. Yes, I'm sure I did have some probably deep-seated anger with my mom, but I got to get clear on that. I got to love it and let it all go. I also probably was playing the victim of, when do I get to do what I want to do? So guess what? I got up and I went and did it. I went to St. Augustine, Florida for 3 months. I created the experience, right? So sometimes our physical symptoms and challenges and things that we're going through, they can literally save your life. Like, if you've ever talked to anyone who has overcome cancer, a lot of times those people will tell you that that cancer was a blessing, because it literally opened up their eyes. They took the blinders off. They realized that somehow or another they consciously created that cancer. There was something that they were doing, the way they were thinking, the way they were living their life, their lifestyle from years and years and years. You don't just wake up one day and have cancer. That's not how it works. Maybe you find out one day, but it happens over years and years and years of progression of your thoughts, your attitude, your beliefs. That's what I'm saying. Consciousness is king. And then obviously your lifestyle. What are you putting into your body? Are you getting enough movement? Are you drinking enough water? Like, what's going on? But it's not something that just appears in one day. So it's not something that, oh, let's just cut it out. Let's poison it out. Let's burn it out. No, it's a lifestyle, right? And your health and the cure that you're looking for has to do with making lifestyle changes. And so everything that I went through with my health challenges literally is what woke me up to this same exact truth. So that's why I'm obviously, once again, so passionate about sharing this with other people, because you don't have to stay in that same old rut with that same old stuff going on. So water is a big one, obviously. Movement as well. So exercise. Even if you don't feel like going to the gym and working out, get out in nature, take a walk. That's honestly the best way. When you start walking, you have a cross-patterning motion that takes place that literally changes the chemicals in your brain. It will support you if you have anything like anxiety or depression or anything going on. Obviously, it produces endorphins. It has you feeling better. And over a period of time, even if you can't walk very far, maybe you can only walk 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, break it up into increments. Even like one day, if you go and you take a walk for like 15 minutes, and then you go back to your desk and you're getting some of your work done, you're investing or something in your business, and then, a couple hours later, you go take another 15-minute walk. But maybe breaking it up into like 4 15-minute intervals would support you somehow if you can't do it for a really long duration. But chances are you're going to keep doing that, and you're literally going to build up strength and energy into your body that's going to support you in having energy and vitality and clarity, because we require movement to get the stagnant lymphatic system moving. Once again, I talk about this a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself, but we have a heart. The heart beats. The heart moves our blood, which is our circulatory system. The blood is what feeds our cells. But we also have something called a lymphatic system that is literally the sewer system of the body. And if you're not getting movement in every day, if you're a standard American that probably sits all day long at a desk, you go home, you probably eat some crap food, you watch crappy shit on TV, you have crappy thoughts about your life, you're freaking miserable, maybe you even chug down a beer or some wine or something, and then you go to sleep, but you don't get any movement in at all, and you have that kind of lifestyle. Can you imagine years and years and years of that same stuff over and over and over, that someone with that type of scenario would potentially have some health challenges? I mean, it's pretty clear why that would be. So just getting some movement in, like I said, go out. You don't have to have a gym membership. Go out your front door. Honestly, walking in nature is one of the best things that you can actually do for yourself of all. Walking out in nature, getting some sunshine, getting some vitamin D, hearing the birds chirp, looking at the sky, feeling the sun beaming down on you, connecting with your God source, your creator, your universe, whatever word you choose to give it. But just taking a walk is one of the best things we can honestly do. So sunshine was the next thing. We are light. We are energy. We are light. Okay, we are spiritual beings here having a human experience. We are of the light. Okay, so if you're out getting sunlight and that's going into your body, you're literally absorbing that into your body. Also, of course, it's very important for vitamin D. And then it feels good too. And it's a great way, like I said, to connect with your creator, because obviously God, creator, source, universe, whatever word you choose to give it, something created this planet, something created this earth. You know, we're here for a reason. I'm pretty sure a human being didn't create it, right? So the sunshine, it would be the next one. And it's super amazing for you. And then, of course, the next one was going to be connect with your God, source, creator, universe. Think about the relationship that you have with yourself. Think about the relationship that you have with your creator. Do you believe that you're here for a purpose? Maybe you haven't found your passion yet. Maybe you're still unsure. Like I feel like I recently, maybe within the last couple years, especially with doing more of this and sharing more of my story and supporting more women and transforming their lives. I support men too, but mainly women, that I've really I'm thriving right now. Like I feel amazing and I'm so excited. Like I wake up with passion, you know, I'm happy and I know that the things that I'm doing are, you know, benefiting people. I'm bringing value to the world. I'm shining my light, you know, I'm taking off my mask. I'm being very authentic. I'm being very real. I'm being very raw. You know, I'm supporting a lot of people in a loving way. And it's just a beautiful thing. So maybe if you haven't figured out what your passion is yet, what I always like to tell people is, what do you like to do in your spare time? You know, if you're potentially should be working or doing something else, but you find yourself doing something, you know, that's typically what your passion is. Figure out if there's a way that you could support yourself with that. You could potentially create a business out of that, you know? So relationship with yourself, relationship with your God source, your creator, all those things are very important. Also journaling, getting yourself like a journal or a notebook and a pen. And every night before you go to bed, journal about your day. Just journal about how you're feeling, like whatever's coming through you. Like maybe you had a great day, but maybe you're going to bed and you're like, man, you know, maybe you feel lonely for whatever reason or another. And so maybe you feel a little bit of sadness and that's okay, right? So write that in your journal, like write that and get it out of there. Because honestly, emotions and feelings are just energy in motion. So E-motion. So let it come through, feel it, take some deep breaths, love it, love the experience, right? Because anything you resist is going to persist. So that's the thing is like release, remove all the resistance, unconditionally love every single area of your life. That is how you're going to shift and transform it. Like I had someone message me the other day after she watched my video on Tuesday. She said, girl, I think you gave me a new way of thinking. And it made me so happy because I thought, you're right. I mean, I don't think a lot of people maybe know some of these things that I'm talking about. I know I didn't, right? I didn't know these. I required learning about this stuff. So, you know, when you really realize that your thoughts are so powerful and that you require having them under control and that you get to choose your own thoughts. Because I remember, like, I don't have it much anymore. The monkey mind has calmed down. I don't have the mindless chat. I don't have the chatter. I don't have the mind chatter. Okay. But how many ever years I did, right? And so it's such a beautiful feeling to be able to go through my day. Like this morning I woke up, I did some stuff, I invested in my business, took care of the dogs around here, went and did Kundalini yoga, went and got my oil changed, ran a few errands, came back here, had a big old smoothie, went and ran a couple more errands, came back here, invested time in my business. My mom got home, we chit chatted. I was preparing to do this video and boom, here I am. Like so fun and easy. Like that's the life, right? Like this is the life that I was choosing to have, you know, that I started focusing on and manifesting to create my life the way it is right now with an online business and to have peace and ease and to create effortlessly. Literally, like life is supposed to be effortless and it's supposed to be fun. Okay, so if you're going through something that isn't, something that you can remember, write this down. A really great affirmation is I choose to make this fun and easy. Because when we do that, we literally tell our psyche, it shifts, things shift, and our perception of whatever it is shifts. Okay. And don't think that my life is always peaches and roses. There's a lot of times when I'm like, I choose to make this fun and easy. I choose to make this fun and easy. And guess what? I do. I make it fun and easy. So that's another good thing. And then once again, just the journaling, like get that stuff out of there. And if you have some deep-seated anger with somebody, potentially, that's the other thing I was going to say too about parasites. A lot of people do have parasites. And phonetically speaking, parasites are pair of sites. So what it really means is that typically you are taking on thoughts of others. You are not coming into your own. You're not doing what Mandy really desires to do or whatever you desire to do, right? You're doing whatever everyone else maybe is saying, or you're you're not following your heart. You're not being true to yourself. Okay. Phonetically speaking, pair of sights. It also can represent trouble with mom and dad. It can represent trouble with your parents, right? Like some challenges or some resistance or something that you potentially have going on. So like I said, all of these things are blessings. So we get to love the hair loss. We get to love the adrenal fatigue. We get to love the parasites. We get to love like any of the shit that's showing up in our life, the heart palpitations, whatever they are. And like I said, I'm going to post that article too in the comments. It's going to let you guys look at the different symptoms and go, wow, holy shit, you mean you have to do with that? And I'm not going to tell it all here on the video because I'm going to let you guys check it out. But this is a lot of what I support people in. And sometimes whenever we can get really clear, it doesn't take long at all and a miracle occurs, right? So they contact me and they're like, this is what's going on. I'm like, oh, really? You know, you stubbed your left big toe or, you know, you have, you know, whatever it is. Okay. But I usually can tell them right away. And then they're like, oh, almost they're kind of like blown away. Like, how did you know that? I'm like, yeah, well, and of course I explain to them sacred body language and how our subconscious mind communicates with us physically in our body. And so these symptoms that are showing up is simply dis-ease. So health challenges, aka disease, is really someone whose body is not at ease. There is an imbalance somewhere. And I shared this on Tuesday night. Holistic health or a holistic lifestyle is about having balance in all areas. Okay, so we have our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, and our spiritual body. I'll say that one more time. Mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. So you require having clarity in all single areas, in every single area of those. I was just looking how it's already been an hour, so I'm choosing to wrap this up. But in other words, having balance in all those areas is what's going to support you in being at ease. Okay, so journaling, a vision board's great. Get your stuff, get you a poster board, get you some magazines, cut some stuff out, create yourself a vision board. Visualization, like remember when you were a little kid and you could use your imagination and think about some really cool stuff? Like I still do that. But I remember when I was a kid, specifically some of the stuff that I used to use my imagination on. You can still do that now. And I was going to point this out. So obviously, I manifested the free juice fast experience adventure, fully paid for trip to Bali with Tyler Tolman and his father. And I made a mistake for somehow or another. I was confused and I thought it was in March. I think I was just overly excited. Either way, it's in May. So I'm choosing to go to Bali for probably the whole entire month of May, the whole entire month of June, and maybe even the whole entire month of July. We'll see how it goes. So I just want to say, though, when I was in Florida, guess what Mandy was doing? Mandy was walking the beach in Florida with her headphones in, listening to her motivating audios and everything else. And I was looking around, and I didn't really see this, but in my imagination, right, I was imagining, like, seeing a man on a bike with, like, mangoes in a basket. And I was imagining, like, people walking around selling necklaces. I've never even been to Bali, and I'm not really sure if they do that there, but I know they do that in Mexico. And I've been to Cancun and Acapulco and all those places. But I pretended I was in Bali. So I was, like, kind of looking around, scanning the beach, and I was pretending like I was seeing that. And in my heart, I was feeling like I was in Bali. And I was literally pretending like I was already there because it was already done. And because when you already have a desire and you're aware of a desire, it's literally already done, or you wouldn't even be aware of the desire, okay? So never in a million years did I imagine that they were going to have a contest, nor did I, imagine that I would be winning, that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm trying to say is that what you focus on, you will attract. And it may not be right away, but you literally can have anything that you desire. Whatever you choose to become, anything, if you focus on it. So visualization is a big one. Obviously, meditation and praying, like those are really great things to do as well. Releasing all resistance to whatever it is. Just releasing the resistance. And food is key. High vibrational food, raw fruits and vegetables, lightly steamed vegetables usually, depending on what it is. But raw fruits and vegetables, getting a lot of stuff into your body that's real whole food, that's of God, that's of the earth, that's full of light. It will also support you in increasing your vibrational frequency. Because like I said, we're all energetic, okay? So high vibrational food and cleaning out your body. If you have constipation, there's a reason for that as well. But cleaning all that out, changing potentially who you're hanging around, what you're watching on TV, getting all the toxic drama, stuff out of your life, changing your thoughts. And also, I want to just mention this lastly. Comparison is the thief of all joy. So if you're just sitting there comparing yourself to everybody else, some fitness model on the cover of the Oxygen magazine, maybe your best friend who's married with kids, like whatever you got going on, and you're comparing because you think that it should be be that way or it should be that way, right? If you're believing that it should look a certain way, no, comparison is a thief of all joy. Love your life unconditionally, everything in your life, and that is literally how you're going to shift and transform your life. So, feel my love and appreciation for you guys. It's already been like an hour and 5 minutes. I start going off the hook, but I want to say that Northgate Juice Joint, February 25th, noon to 2 p.m. It's going to be a free live event. Come see me in person. Let's hug. Come enjoy some juice, some smoothies, some wraps, some salads. Also, too, if you have challenges with sugar cravings, go above this video, click on that. That is a guide to support you in dealing with sugar cravings. There's 3 free recipes there with real whole food. It's good for you. What's up? I see you on there, Bermuda. How's it going? Yeah, so, and hey, Mama, thank you. Selena, feel my love, sister. Yeah, I'm going to go back and look at all this stuff and check out all the comments. So, the free sugar guide on my website. Also, I have my 4-week fast track transformation program. It starts on Monday. That is like hardcore support for me, literally, and supporting you in cleaning out your freaking colon and a bunch of other things. Like, it's really going to get you rolling. And it's not a colon cleanse where you got to hug the toilet all day. You can literally be at work and still support yourself. It's with real whole food, too, by the way. I'm not selling any products. I'm not any of that. So, yeah, so the 4-week fast track transformation program. What's up, Shelly? That's going down starting on Monday. And then I also have, of course, one-on-one coaching for people that have more specific health challenges. I'm supporting someone right now whose son is autistic. And also not right now, but I've supported people with cancer. Yeah, so big time things, right? I can do all that as well. So one-on-one coaching. And then, of course, my website, my infamous 4-week, not that, the 21-day transformation challenge, right? So get fit and lean for 2017 is going down. That's also on my website, and the 3-day reset, which is basically a meal plan. So check out my website. It's above this video, MandyFonville.com. Comment below this video if you have any questions. Feel free to share this video. Make sure you're signed up for my live notifications. And I trust that I'll see you on February 25th. And then I'm also choosing to do a free workout for everyone here in the BCS community. And more than likely, that's going to be on February the 18th because I think that works best for most people. So serve faith. Let go of the fear. Let go of all resistance. Love everything in your life unconditionally. Start focusing on what it is you're choosing to create, because you are creating anytime you're awake. Every thought that you have is literally creating your future. The only time you're not creating is when you're asleep. So take every single thought captive, whatever they are, and start putting in the good thoughts, right? If you have negative thinking about yourself, you're so fat, you could never do this. Oh, there's no way. You're not good enough. No, turn that stuff around. Start speaking positive stuff into your life with affirmations and decrees, okay? So just feel my love and appreciation. Thank you so much, Christy, Selena, everybody for still being here. I know I've been on here like over an hour. You know I could probably talk for like another 2 or 3. But yeah, so if you require any support in any area, do straight up comment below this video. I will still get the notification, or send me a private Facebook message. Oh yeah, the other thing I want to mention, this book, Mind Over Medicine by Dr. Lisa Rankin. This is an amazing book. Dr. Lisa Rankin, Mind Over Medicine. Check out this book. I'll tag it below in the comments. That book right there, she's actually an MD, she's a doctor, and she is proving that the placebo effect, which we know what placebo is, it literally works. How you can literally use your mind to heal your body. This is what I used. I read this, and this is what fired me up to go live by the beach. I got off of my hypothyroid medication, everything else. So it's a beautiful thing. We would listen. Oh, you're sweet, girl. Yeah, so just feel my love. Yes, yes, yes. Love, love, hugs. Mwah. Lots of hugs and kisses, and I will chat with all you guys soon. Have an amazing Thursday night and an amazing Friday tomorrow and an amazing weekend. Bye, guys.